Okay, so thank you so much for coming in, Felipe. My name is Jessica, and I'm going to be working with you today. I just need to go ahead and tell you something. Everything that you say and we talk about today is to remain confidential between yourself and myself. The only time that confidentiality does get broken is when you may be a danger to yourself and in danger to others, and for the safety of yourself and others, then confidentiality does get broken. I was kind of reviewing what you listed here. Can you go a little bit more about yourself and about what the situation is about?
Well, it's about not me getting into grad school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I worked so hard for who knows how long to get an opportunity to get in, but when I got the letter and it said I wasn't accepted, it just like tore me down inside. So, just the fact that I spent all that time, all that hard work to do something that I wanted to do, and to just get turned down, it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it did affect me in a way.
Okay, so you're saying that you feel very upset because you tried very hard with your education to pursue a higher education and you were turned down?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm not smart enough. It makes me feel like I didn't do enough. It makes me feel like I could have done more. But it just feels like I could have done more, but I didn't.
Okay. Do you feel like, or in turn of events, the fact that you didn't get into grad school, how does this, is this only affecting your well-being, or has it affected other aspects of your life as well?
It has affected other aspects, not just my well-being. Like emotionally, it has affected me. Personally, I have closed myself in my room and just stayed in there, and I just don't want to get out.
Okay. And what have you done in respects to maybe pushing yourself more towards reaching your goal?
I just imagine in my head the outcome. Like,
what is the outcome in the sense? What outcomes have you thought of, or do you believe might also be in terms of this event?
Being like successful, not just successful like paid, but like with the fact that I did it. Like, oh, you did this, and you should be proud of it. Mm-hmm. But also the fact that it's something that I really do want to do, and it's something that I'm passionate about.
Okay, so do you mean that graduating grad school would mean a very successful life for you?
It would make it more like I did something with my life. It'd make it feel like I accomplished something.
Okay, so how do you feel now that you said that you have been rejected from the grad schools that you have applied to?
It does suck, but you could either, let it break you, or you could look at the other things and try to make the best out of it.
Yeah, see, I really like that that positive intake that you have. You are aware that there could be ups and downs to things, but you do have a very positive input in that as well. You said that you could either allow it to break you or allow it to make you, and kind of may lead you to a different direction, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of, like you said, you looking at the positive outcomes to that, what other positive outcomes do you see from that? From maybe not being accepted to the ones that you applied for?
It'll push me. It'll motivate me. It'll make me determined to do better. It'll fuel me because I know I can do better.
Right. So you do see positive things coming from this
Yes.
this rejection from the first few grad schools that you have applied to, right? And in terms of also feeling down, what other things have you felt?
A little lost, like emotionally, because it was a big deal for me. So when I did get rejected, it was like,
right.
Yeah.
And are you afraid that you won't get into any other grad schools?
I wouldn't say that, but I really did want to get into that grad school.
What grad school did you apply to? If you don't mind me asking. You don't want to say? Okay, that's fine. You don't have to say it if you don't want to. But like you said, maybe choosing another one might benefit you too. At the end of the day, it's kind of just viewing it as a positive intake to all this, and like you said, that it can fuel you to maybe in a year or two graduate to this, apply to the same one, or maybe choose a different path or choose a different grad schools. There are a lot of opportunities out there. Do you know what specific it was that you wanted to go to school for?
Just to better myself.
Okay, so just to better yourself?
Yeah.
Anything else in particular? So just to clarify, you wanted to go to school just to maybe get the title of a master's degree? Yeah, that would make you really happy, is to maybe get your master's degree. Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask, have you considered applying to any grad schools lately, or do you want to take a break from maybe looking into further?
I haven't looked into any other ones because I was really set on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be best to just take time off.
Okay.
Maybe to just focus on myself and to rethink some stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a plan in terms of maybe how long or what else you can do besides applying to grad school or in your work? Anything work related that might kind of ease your mind off of this particular event? No. Do you have, like I said, do you have a plan set out with what you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you like to share the plan or not? Yeah.
It's work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Okay, that's good. So at the end, it's kind of like what I'm understanding is that yes, you were denied the acceptance into your particular grad school that you applied to, but you still have hope in the future. You haven't completely shut down any opportunities to further apply to other grad schools, but right now it's kind of just a work in progress. I do see that it's great that you believe that there is a positive from something like this, because it can be difficult to see a positive in something so down. If you're especially feeling like you have failed yourself. I do want to go back into the topic of you being in your room and kind of not going out. How has that affected your social life? Not in a good way.
It was very antisocial.
Okay. So I think the best thing for you to do is, I know it can be very, very difficult, but perhaps just, you know, finding and just researching a little bit more about what it is that you want to do, you know, and maybe finding, if not bettering yourself to apply to that grad school again, and perhaps, you know, get accepted that time. You know,
Yeah.
you think that might be a good thing to focus on in the next few months, or like you said as well, if you believe you're more comfortable taking a break from it and then further, you know, applying to some within some time, that can also work as well, right? But I want to go back and say that I think it's great that you're finding the positive in what sometimes some might consider something very negative. And there's always that strive to better yourself, right? So I really want to thank you for allowing me to see a little bit more of how much of a conflict this has been in your life. But I also want to thank you for, you know, sharing something like this with me, because I know it can be very difficult for some people to open up about what they have a hard time, you know, expressing. And I can see that you're very, you know, how that makes you feel, right? And how does, you know, how that has affected your life. But I really want to thank you. And, you know, coming to these sessions can maybe better yourself and continue to see that positive outlook in life, because maybe not getting accepted to grad school may not be the end of something good for you, but it can definitely push you to better yourself, to maybe, like I said again, either apply to that same one or apply to a different one, but perhaps with greater ambition, right? Yeah. So do you believe that, you know, throughout the next few weeks we can work on bettering your self-esteem and your self-worth? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for coming.